that was really kind of frustrating this morning, the way the internet was performing. So I thought I'd take a minute now that I'm back here in the dorm to to say hello. I've never shot from this angle before, so that's interesting. But I wanted to finish up a little bit about what I was talking about because I didn't feel necessarily like I brought the entire idea to fruition, and I wanted to have a stable internet connection, which I feel like I do now that I'm not driving. Uh, and hey, we've got a visitor in the ideas room. Good to see you. Don't know who that was. I can't see the phone that far away. Let me just real quick check. But oh, Hard Stuck Live. Good to see you, man. Gypsy Panther. Hope you are well. I'm doing well. I mean, I think you can see that, right? I look great. I look fantastic. I'm glad there's a stable connection. I was trying to go over a little bit about the Hypno-Apotheosis program coming up on the 100-day challenge. And I've been taking a bunch of notes, so I'll show you guys a little bit of what about that looks like. I'm using the back of this calendar. I've got all these notes from a session I had with Tomas yesterday. I've got notes here. I've got notes here, and I've got notes there. So I wanted to make a couple more notes this morning to better illustrate what I was talking about on the drive. And the internet on that last video, oh my God, that's level of frustration is anxiety inducing. Uh, Again, I'm not going to worry about it though. I'm not going to let it get to me. It used to really get to me uh, back in the day, but nowadays I'm just like, it's par for the course. Living in China and having poor VPN quality, and you can never nail it down to one thing, right? So if you try to tackle one problem, then another problem arises right after that, and then when you start working on that problem a little bit, the other problem will reoccur. And then when you get that problem figured out, there'll be a new problem. And then there'll be a couple of looming problems out there, right? And then those will crop up. And so people will give you advice and they'll say, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And it's like, then you do this and you do that. And then there's all these other problems too. So I think it's not just being in China. I think that's just the way sometimes things operate within the realm of man. A good, clear, easy example of that was Facebook when they had a really good streaming platform when they first, not when they first launched it, but like maybe after the first or second year, where when you were live streaming, the software would store everything to your hard drive on your phone, and it made it so that the stream might not be entirely perfect, but later when the stream was finished, it would upload the perfect file from your hard drive rather than it would continue encoding. And so you would always have a perfectly uploaded file after the stream was over. And that was the perfect way to do it. That worked so good for like 6 months because I was blocked on YouTube at the time. I don't know, for some reason, I just really wasn't using YouTube that much. So I was streaming to Facebook instead. But they immediately stopped that, like once they figured out that it was so wonderful, because then you could mirror upload your live streams to any other platform because it was on your hard drive. It's your own phone storing it to its own hard drive. And so you could mirror it on YouTube, BitChute, whatever other platform you wanted to, right after you were finished with the live stream. So convenient, so perfect. And so for the most part, I didn't even live stream to YouTube. I live streamed to Facebook. And then I just later on, I would upload it to YouTube when I got to school or whatever. Anyway, yeah, they got rid of that because they knew, that that was benefiting people and it creates competition for themselves. So I wish we had better control over our own software platforms. and we were able to do that conveniently without a lot of hassle. But again, it's never about making anything easy for people. It's always about making it a challenge, right? They don't they don't serve the people, so to speak. They don't take the pulse of the people and common sense and say, well, what is the best way we can provide this? Because it doesn't cost any additional money. It's just the way you set up the features. But rather than doing that, they say, how can we frustrate the little guys and make it more accessible to the big money guys and the ones that we platform and we want to promote, and then just totally infuriate and frustrate the little guys so that they'll basically give up. That way their voice isn't being heard. Um, Wrangler Star said it best. Live streaming is the toughest job in the world. It really is. And why would you even do it, right? I just do it for fun and for community, and you guys know that for the most part. But that's entirely why I'm in it. But I wanted to correlate this um, theory of thirds a little bit to make you to number one, it's an archive, right? It's the Jive art, it's the live Jive archive. So don't think that I'm just trying to talk these things to you. And please hit the thumbs up if you would, man. I appreciate that. It lets me know that you're standing up and being counted. Um, I wanted to illustrate this theory of thirds a little bit in relationship to hypnosis. And so I've got this clear idea system that I'm going to bring forward so that it's really easy to grasp in illustrated form. So we'll say these are the three levels of mind in addition to your three Dantians. The first one at the top there being the conscious, attentive mind, right? The seat of mindfulness and conscious attention. So, what you're focused on at any given time, that's the level of mind that's consciousness. Then we have these so called subconscious, the subconscious level of mind that operates everything else subconscious, and we reference it as being lower. Remember, all of these things are models. I'm not saying that this is what it is, but it's how it appears to us and how we can learn to better utilize it and function with it by modeling. So the subconscious is taking care of your heartbeat. It's not anything you have to focus on. It's taking care of the breathing, the pumping of the blood, all of the lymph activity, all of that is happening at the subconscious level. Then we go a level deeper than that. And you guessed it. What do you think it is? What's below the subconscious? Now, some researchers will put these two together and say, okay, you've got the conscious and the unconscious or subconscious. That's an error in my mind. You've got the conscious, the subconscious processes happening, and then unconscious is the molecular level. It's you're not even aware of atoms spinning and molecules creeping, right? But they're there and they're controlled by mind. Okay? So mind is all of these things. They are one unified whole. But in the varying degrees of fineness and the subtle nuance of interacting with them, we as human beings have greater direct access to our conscious attention. I can poke the screen, right? That operates through subconscious direction of all of the physiological systems. And it's supported by the foundation, an unconscious, unified wave of energy that's coalescing as the human expression. Now, I don't want to be too high level in my jargon, so I'm trying to root you guys in an understanding of this and myself as well. Remember, I'm doing these archives from my own memory and code encoding. That which you focus on will start to layer in to the subconscious mind. This will layer down to the instinctual unconscious mind. We'll say that this unconscious realm is the realm of long-term memory. The subconscious is the realm of slightly greater than its short-term memory, but it's a little bit greater because it's communicating with long-term memory. And then this is just immediate attention. It's the 1 to 7 seconds of the shortest amount of memory, right? Isn't that amazing how all these digital systems are producing an analog experience? You experience space and time. Well, you experience space digitally, but you experience your interaction, your stream of consciousness with time in an analog function, right? Again, these are models. I'm not saying that there really is time or that there really is space, but it appears to be those things are persistent and they're unconscious, right? So down at the bottom, we'll put long-term memory. Then in the middle here, we'll put the short-term memory and somewhat greater than short-term memory, right? As I mentioned, because it's the bus system of the, if you use the computer analogy, that interacts and provides things into the processor. Now, the consciousness is the processor. Processor. It's the processing memory. It's the active intent. So it is the seat of the E, which we call intention. So the reason I wanted to tune in for a few more minutes this morning was to give you a illustrated representation of what I was talking about this morning. That with hypnosis, you use the intention to wake up those trance states where you can directly access subconscious programming of unconscious states, right? So you have thought, belief, and instinct. A thought is at this conscious level of floating about. It's very ephemeral. It can manifest and disappear in the flash of an eye, in the blink of an eye, in a flash. Belief is a little more ensconced in the subconscious mind. It's also malleable, though. You can change beliefs and values. Instincts are at the deepest level. These are the truly autonomous responses. These are automated states, but these are truly autonomous operating functions. Instinct and just physiological operations, like I said, molecular activity, it happens entirely without your influence. It's still under the control of mind. Without mind, the entire thing would fall apart. And sometimes it does. And ultimately, most people fall apart in the end anyway, right? But I think that this is clearly illustrates the concepts and ideas that I was hoping to convey about a basic understanding of hypnosis. So, what is hypnosis then? You're using the mind by way of conversation and guided meditation or intention to relax the body and shift the attention point away from the monkey mind, away from thinking and other things of oscillating interest in your immediate environment, to a deeper state where your mind is more susceptible to suggestion and pattern changing, right? Pattern interruption and setting up new beliefs You can mold your beliefs and knowledge base. Knowledge goes a little deeper. Ultimately, you're bridging the gap and instilling within the operating system applications in long-term memory to the hard drive of the mind that can benefit you in various ways. Again, like I can see the internet's getting ready to cut out, and that upsets me. But what are you going to do? You just roll with the punches, guys. So, what's the point? Hypnosis and utilizing the methods and techniques of hypnosis can help you to set up automated states where you'll do things like, for example, improve the quality of your life. You can easily and naturally improve the quality of your life by setting up an exercise regime that you can put deep down into the instinctual level of long-term memory so that it's an automated response action. First thing upon waking, you find yourself, you're up and you're stretching, you wash the face, you're doing your qigong, you're out there in the yard doing 2 hours of kung fu, and all of this occurs before your conscious critical factor can give you any negative talk, any negative self talk, or any negative feedback, or any laziness, or anything that would prevent you from doing that. You're tricking the mind into doing what you want it to do because you're the commander in chief, right? And you know what's best for your systems. You know that not getting frustrated, not giving into negative self talk, and doing those things which make you a more powerful player, whether it be your kung fu or going for a jog or a walk or just getting up and stretching and doing a little seated meditation. All of these things can be put into the instinctual level of the unconscious operating, autonomously operating systems. I'm living proof. I've done it. I know how to do it. I know how to do it for myself, but I never analyzed it to the level that we're going to analyze it in the 100-day challenge, Hypno-Apotheosis. I hope you will join me, Wanderer, Wayfarer, and Wildcat alike, because it's going to be an exciting one, and I'm coalescing and bringing together all the material from 30 years of endeavoring to understand magic, and I'm going to present it to you in the 100-day challenge for Hypno-Apotheosis. So join me. Stay tuned for more in the near future. I'm gonna make this up into a printable illustration that I can get a good picture of, maybe scan, and then I'm gonna upload it to the Discord. I may even put it here on the YouTube community section because it's my original work, and I feel like I've made breakthroughs. I feel like I've derived some added value to the mystery tradition, and I think that at least at a neophyte level, I've made some breakthroughs. We're going to figure out why the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram is important with this system, and the um, ritual of the rose cross, and everything else that we've been through, astral travel, and it's all going to come together under this new 100-day challenge of hypnosis. I hope you guys have time to join me and tune in regularly. And yeah, do good magic as above, so below, as we wander into the abodes of the future ad astra per aspera through suffering to the stars. Until next time, bye for now.